Todd Monken's first press conference as Cleveland's head coach went exactly as expected. He said the right things. He talked about offensive identity. He made people feel optimistic, but there was something he didn't say. And right now, that silence is creating a problem that has nothing to do with quarterback decisions or draft capital. Jim Schwartz still doesn't know if he has a job. Here's what's actually happening in Cleveland right now. The Super Bowl hasn't been played yet. The combine is 2 weeks away. Free agency starts immediately after. And the Browns' defensive coordinator is in limbo, not because of performance, but because of philosophy. Monken made it clear he's not changing the defensive scheme. He wants continuity. He praised Schwartz publicly, and yet, no decision. The longer this drags, the more it tells you about what's happening behind closed doors, because this isn't just about whether Schwartz stays or goes. It's about whether the new head coach actually controls his own staff. It's about whether Andrew Barry and the Haslams are willing to let Monken build his team, or whether they're managing him from day one. And the people watching this most closely aren't fans. They're assistants, free agents, coordinators who might consider Cleveland. If the job opens up, every day without an answer is a day someone else interprets the silence. Daryl Reuter said it plainly. They need to figure this out by the end of the week. Not just for Schwartz, but to be fair to him, to give him a chance to move on if that's where this is headed.
Yeah, players matter. I mean, look, I've bemoaned for years the Browns just have not had enough talent on the field to win. And they haven't. They didn't have it last year. They didn't have it the year before, which is why I kind of scratched my head with the whole coaching change, because I don't know what the hell Kevin Stefanski was supposed to do with that offense.
Agreed.
So that all being said, you know, they're resetting. They're starting over. They're going to. Monken talked about earlier this week. They're going to rebuild that offense from the ground up. It's one of the reasons he took the job. In addition to the defensive players on the team over the years, and they don't produce results. So that's why I'm just I'm more focused on results and seeing what progress is made next season, rather than just sitting here selling fans on how great Todd Monken's going to be as a head coach because I was impressed what he said at a press conference. But yeah, you're right. I think that fans would enjoy if he would end up doing that as Browns defensive coordinator. I don't know that his pay stub would enjoy that, though.
Yes.
But there's another layer here. If Monken wants Schwartz gone, why hasn't it happened already? If he wants him to stay, why hasn't that been announced? The most logical explanation is the one nobody's saying out loud. This decision might not be Monken's to make. Schwartz doesn't return. Monken's already signaled he wants to promote from within. Jason Tarver or someone similar. Someone who knows the system. Someone who can carry forward what Schwartz built without tearing it down and starting over. That makes sense. If you believe the problem in Cleveland was offense, not defense, but here's what gets lost in that logic. The Browns' defense isn't young. Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, the core pieces, they're in their prime now. This is the window. And Monken acknowledged that's part of why he took the job. The defensive talent was already there. So if you're rebuilding the offense from the ground up, and Monken said explicitly that's a 2-year project, what happens to that defense by the time the offense is ready? It ages out. Reuter put it bluntly. By the time you fix the offense, your defense is too old, and you're back to repairing that side. The Browns always seem caught in this cycle. Fix one thing, break another. Never YNCED. And that's the quiet tension underneath all of this. Monken inherited a team built backward. Elite defense, broken offense. A quarterback situation with no clear answer. A front office that just spent 24 days running a methodical coaching search only to hire the first guy they requested. Permission to interview. None of that is Monken's fault, but all of it is now his problem. And the Schwartz decision, whether it's his call or not, is the first real test of whether this organization has learned anything about how to build around a new head coach, or whether they're just running the same process with different names. Reuter said something that didn't get enough attention. He left Monken's introductory press conference not energized, not fired up. And for someone who covers this team full-time, that's not cynicism, that's pattern recognition. He's heard good stuff for 27 years. 4 winning seasons total. Monken's vision makes sense. Jimmy Haslam acknowledged the team isn't fun to watch. They're boring and they lose. Okay, great. Now what? Because the problem in Cleveland has never been the press conference. It's been the gap between what's said and what actually gets built. And right now, while Monken is assembling his offensive staff, and by all accounts doing a good job of it, there's still no clarity on the defensive side. No announcement. No timeline, just silence that matters more than people realize. NFL calendars move fast after the Super Bowl. There's no break. Coaches who get let go need time to find new jobs. Coordinators who might be interested in Cleveland need to know if there's an opening. The longer this sits unresolved, the more it signals indecision. Or worse, disagreement. And in a building where the front office has had total control for years. That creates a very specific kind of pressure on a first-time head coach who's trying to establish authority before he's even coached a game. The Schwartz decision will get made maybe this week. Maybe quietly. Maybe exactly the way Monken wants. But the silence right now isn't neutral. It's the first real indicator of how much control he actually has and how much rope this organization is willing to give him before the patterns start repeating.